We've all heard the story. Rome fell because of barbarians sacking the city. But what if I told you that's not the whole truth? The real story is far more complex, and honestly, a lot more interesting. The image of barbarian hordes tearing down the gates is dramatic, but it was just the final push on an empire that was already crumbling from the inside. The real reasons are a series of fatal flaws that grew over centuries. First, the Roman Empire was just too big. At its peak, it stretched from Britain to the Middle East, a colossal territory that was nearly impossible to govern effectively with ancient technology. Imagine trying to send a message across thousands of miles by horseback. News of an invasion in one corner of the empire might take weeks to reach Rome. By then, it could be too late. The vast network of roads that once symbolized its strength became arteries for its own decline, too long to defend and too expensive to maintain. Then there was the political chaos. Being a Roman emperor was one of the most dangerous jobs in the world. In just a 50-year period in the 3rd century, more than 20 men claimed the title of emperor, and almost all of them were assassinated. This constant instability created a vicious cycle of civil war and political turmoil. With no clear line of succession, generals fought each other for power, draining the empire's resources and manpower. The government was paralyzed, unable to deal with the real threats looming at its borders. This led directly to an economic collapse. To pay for endless wars and the lavish lifestyles of the elite, emperors kept raising taxes and devaluing their currency. They started mixing cheaper metals into their silver coins, which led to runaway inflation. Soon, the coins were practically worthless. People lost faith in the economy. Trade slowed to a trickle, farms were abandoned, and the once bustling marketplaces of the empire grew quiet. The economic engine that powered Rome had stalled. With the economy in ruins, Rome couldn't afford to pay its own citizens to be soldiers anymore. So, what did they do? They hired foreign mercenaries, often from the very barbarian tribes they were supposed to be fighting. These soldiers had no real loyalty to Rome. They fought for whoever paid them the most. When the money dried up, their allegiance vanished. The army, once the backbone of the empire, became a fractured and unreliable force, sometimes even turning against the emperors they were hired to protect. So Rome didn't fall because it was conquered in one epic battle. It was a slow, agonizing collapse. It wasn't one single event, but 1,000 small cuts. Political corruption, economic failure, social decay, and military overreach. The empire rotted from the core, becoming a hollow shell of its former glory. The final barbarian invasions weren't the cause of the fall, they were the consequence. They were simply pushing on a structure that was already about to collapse under its own weight. It's a powerful lesson from history. Even the greatest empires can fall, not from outside threats, but from problems within that were ignored for far too long. Thanks for watching, and if you found this interesting, don't forget to like and subscribe for more.